Welcome back to the quad. You know what I'm saying? Listen, we over here talking about vulnerability. We over here talking about mental health, talking about catching your friends, checking on your strong friends. This is such an important conversation. And,
Yes.
you know, Ms. Smith, we've talked about this so much, just even self-care. I mean, I thought it was so important that I said, you know what, I need you to come to my job and talk to my coworkers because it's that important to me. And not only for me, I mean, I even asked personally if she could be my therapist because I'm just that comfortable with it. But of course, there's a conflict. But she sent me all type of information about individuals.
So that's your
that I
way
had.
of saying you had her come here because you felt like we had some
No.
unresolved.
Nah. But
That's what you do.
No, but listen. But the thing is, though,
Bring her to the family barbecue.
no, but this is but that's part of it though because not only do I know that she could be a benefit for me, maybe not necessarily in the therapy role because of our relationship, but she could also be a benefit to the people around me. You know what I mean? So I wanted the people around me, like at my job specifically, to hear from her perspective this information. So thank you for coming to the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank you. I'm
enjoying myself.
Your professionalism and your experience and all this knowledge with our audience and my two co-hosts.
Right.
Hey, look, real talk. I've already tried. But in the ending the last segment, you were talking about vulnerability, and I was able to actually view that video, the TED Talk. But I want to talk just a little bit more about the relationship between vulnerability and shame.
Yeah, it's a big one. It's shame is like we think about like something's wrong with me, right? And the way you look at it, like I'm embarrassed, I can't do it because something's wrong with me internally, the makeup, right? I can't put myself out there, so I have to present, I have to be guarded, I have to cover up, because if you see even more of me, you won't like me, I won't succeed, right. Whatever it is. Vulnerability, and like Brene Brown shares, and I love her work, is the idea of showing up and being seen and not caring about it. That doesn't mean I just roll up at work, say anything I want to say to anybody, be like I'm being vulnerable. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is how I feel about you, and I'm vulnerable right now. No, it means that we can have the dialogue we just had in the break and when we were talking and not be, leery of what the other person's going to think. Right. It means this is me, I'm present, I'm here.
Present.
Take me as I am.
Exactly. Being and not acting like the food you say, everybody wears a mask, right? But how long is it going to last? Not acting like I got to cover up because if you see me, then what's going to happen? But instead being like, listen, this is me. Right. I'm not all together. You know what I mean? I still got stuff, or I'm still cleaning this up, or, I got, this in my past as well. But hey, I'm here today and I'm trying and I'll be better tomorrow. Right. Shame is let me not say nothing and let me present like everything is well and let me keep trucking, because if not, you guys are gonna judge me and I'm gonna lose everything I have.
Judgment,
yeah. It's just that fear and it's gripping and it will keep your mouth closed, and that's why I hate it. You know what I mean? And that's why I want people to begin to talk more and more about it. How do you break that? Which is also with the app that I have, the Strong Witness. Right. That was the point of me starting it, and I'm really trying to figure out which way to go with it now. But that was the point of me starting it. Was listen. Strong witness, share your story and don't care what anybody else says, right? The more you share your story, the stronger your voice gets.
Yeah,
exactly. And I give this example, like if you ask me how my week was, maybe Frank, I saw you yesterday, how's your week? Oh, it was all right. Then I see you the next day, how was your week? Well, it was okay. You know what, on Tuesday I did boom, boom, boom. Then you asked me, how was your week? You know what, it was actually pretty good. Yeah. Tuesday and Thursday this happened. What happened? I got more comfortable the more I started to share my story. Exactly. My voice got stronger, right? I was relaxed. I added the good points and the bad points. Same thing with our stories, right? That shame's going to break the more you begin to talk about it. If I don't say anything about it, I keep it guarded, that shame is so thick. Right. So even the strongest people can have so much shame on the inside, right? I just had a thought that went right out of my head. Sorry about that. But the app, that's a Strong Witness. There's some people on there. My story's on there, and I shared it. I got some people sharing their stories on there. It's available on Google Play and in the App Store. This is what I was going to share. A lot of times even when we're, in church and there's like an issue that we're talking about, I did it a couple times there, or even when I'm talking with my clients, sometimes just have them say flat out, listen, just plain, what's the issue? Don't give me the 20-minute version. Just give me the flat line. What is the issue? Oh, I'm mad at such and such. I'm making this up because they took my water. Okay. How do you feel about it? You know, how do you feel about, I'm angry. Okay, what's underneath the anger? Because anger is secondary. When you're angry, something else is pushing the anger out.
Right.
Okay, there's something underneath anger, like literally
Girl, let me
pushing it
take
out.
notes.
Mhm.
Hold
Right.
on.
So I'm angry. Okay, underneath, what else you feeling? Well, you took my water, so I'm hurt. I'm jealous because they have a bunch of water. Okay, and I just don't see how I'm going to be able to get the water on my own.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
So what's the issue, flat out? How do you
Mhm.
feel about the issue? Now this is a good starting point.
Exactly.
Because we walk around like, I don't care. Don't bother me.
Mm.
I can just go get more water.
Yeah.
Yes, you do care. That's why, you know what I mean?
That's all you
Right.
hear
That's why
about.
you're here. Exactly.
Ooh,
Right?
that sounds familiar.
That's
don't
why
it?
you're so tense. But the way-
Heal the people.
But the
Heal
way you guys just
people.
laugh, the same thing. That's how we present sometimes.
Yeah.
We walk around like it ain't nothing, but it is,
Right.
and people can see you.
Right.
Mhm.
If I came in the room, and I just met you guys, I know Frank, and I came in the room, you all right? I'm fine. We starting this or not? They'd be like, okay, is she
Right.
right? She got an
Right.
attitude,
Right.
No, I don't. You do, right? And like you
Mhm.
said a minute ago, people can see us. Why not just say what it is?
Right.
My friend told me years ago in high school. She said she was asking me about something. Well, it was years ago. I don't remember what it was. But I remember her point was, I'd rather you just say you don't want to talk about it than say nothing.
Mm.
Okay, so even admitting something is wrong is cracking and breaking that
Barrier.
thick barrier of
Yeah.
shame and being like, you know what, I'm not okay right now.
Right.
But now may not be the best time to talk about it. Being able to so that's why I tell people the starting point sometimes, even for self, what is the issue, and then really how are you feeling?
Mm.
Now we at a good starting point, because the more I keep quiet, that thing that I'm quiet about has a grip on me.
Mm.
Right? The more I don't share it, the more angry I am at Frank for the water. You know what I mean?
And it's funny that you say that. I went inpatient and I disappeared for a minute. 'Cause you can't have phones or anything.
Mhm.
And I was sitting there and I was like, they're gonna be looking for me. People are looking for me.
Mhm.
And a week and a half later, and when I came out, I was like, oh, I'm gonna make a post. I'm gonna make a video, like talking about everything, 'cause I had like notes and I'm a writer, so I write, and my family member said, oh, I don't know if you should tell people, maybe you shouldn't. And then I second guessed it, and I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't, And then a response, and it's funny because in my mind, the response that I expected was totally different from
Right.
the response that I received. And I think I had more anxiety just about telling people, what was going on. Because I am the strong one.
Yeah.
So, and I even had somebody tell me like, you're the strong one. Like if you breaking down, like I ain't got no hope. And it was kind of like, no, that's not how that goes, but I think a lot of people struggle with that, the wanting to be vocal and then not so much. And just like you said with social media, you see so many people that it's either one or two extremes. You see people that are very, very open, that share everything and every meal and every feeling and every situation. And then you see some people that are lurkers that hardly ever post, but they know everything, but they're afraid to let you in, or be vulnerable, as vulnerable as the person that overshares. But those are the people that I find that are, like you said, like it's bottled up to the top, because they never let it out. So where is the happy medium?
Right. I'm not sure. I think it depends on each person. I think, when somebody is always like, I'm sad today. Like, okay, you want somebody to come say something, right?
Mhm.
But I think it depends on the person, right? And I think it depends on everybody's comfort level. Some people, again, like me, I know I'm going to feel better because I am a talker. It's not a social media talker. It's call my friend directly and talk, right? So I think everybody has their own space and everybody knows what's safe for them. I think a question that I'm just going to float out there too, what if we worked on changing the definition of strength? Because strength looks like I'm unbreakable and I'm going to walk through here like, what's my man's name? Luke Cage, right? And I'm going to walk in here and you can't stop me with every bullet you got. That's strength. What if strength is being able to say, I'm not okay today?
That's
Mhm.
good.
but I'm gonna try again tomorrow.
That's good.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
good. That dynamic. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So what if and then so next time somebody says that, I challenge you now to say, well, tell me what strength means, because you being able to say I'm not okay right now, to me that makes you stronger than the one who's posted up on the wall, kind of looking and shrugging their shoulders like, like, you know what I mean? Like the stronger one's able to say, man, but let me get up again, let me try it again.
Right.
That's the stronger one. The stronger one's able to say, yo, I'm, you know, when I came in here, listen, my shirt's dirty because I tripped in the parking lot. But listen, I'm gonna do this podcast. It's not dirty. I was giving an example.
Did you find?
No.
I'm about to say no.
Girl, that shirt white,
Right? Real crisp.
But
White.
but the strong was able to say, I made a mistake, and can laugh at all, like, oh, you know, whatever. But listen, I'm gonna show up tomorrow. You're gonna find me here. You can say whatever you want to say about me, but you're gonna find me here, right? It's not the one who quits, and a lot of times that shame. I know people who are good at stuff but won't try for fear of failure.
I do
Right.
too.
Right. So So to me, you're not the stronger one. It's the person who keeps showing up and trying, because
Right.
you're gonna get it eventually.
Exactly.
Right. But see, our definition of strength is different. Again, it's that presentation, what I put out there and what you can see. Right. I think the other part, a lot of times too, somebody told me this again years ago. Well, we learned this in counseling. It's called projection. Okay. What I'm feeling, I can project onto you.
Right.
Okay. Maybe I'm feeling insecure about my earrings, so now I come for you, like, look at your earrings. I can't believe you wear. You know what I mean? What I'm really saying is, I don't really like my earrings.
Right.
You know what I mean? Well,
Yeah.
I can't afford those nice. I did see them at the store, but I can't afford them.
99 cents.
I love those
Right.
earrings.
You wearing them though.
Okay. What?
But that's the thing. Sometimes
Right.
we project. So when you
Mhm.
told your family member, I think I'm going to share. Whoa.
Right.
You can put that out there?
Right.
To me, what I also hear in that is, I'm not comfortable putting my
Right.
business out there.
Exactly.
So if
that
I'm
was
not
me.
comfortable,
Right.
exactly.
I don't
And
know
that's
how
how
that's gonna go.
exactly.
but-
That's how fear jumps, like a domino effect.
Mhm.
Right? So maybe her intent wasn't to shut your voice. It was just like, ooh.
Oh no.
Like, nah. But if you were comfortable in that, imagine, and I don't know if you did it or not, so I'm not telling you to do
Did
it.
not.
But imagine the people, that's why I say all the time, again, strong witness, the people you can help by just saying,
Right.
this is what I experienced and what I went through.
Exactly.
You know, when I talk about sexual abuse, if I talk about it, somebody will always come up to me like, so, you know, you know what I'm saying, and got something to say. Or I'm from New Jersey, maybe later on that somebody, okay, you know what, this happened. You know what I'm saying? Or something I did fun in Fort Worth. You know what, I was in Fort Worth a couple, you know, it just takes one person to begin to speak about it. You gonna help somebody else.
No, I had a real life that happened this past week in a group counseling session. The funny thing to me, I've had a lot of funny moments during the whole, time frame. Just little things that come to me. It's like, I always, in a situation, especially when inpatient, you see a lot of alcohol and drug abuse and, like you said, different diagnosis, behavioral diagnosis, and people in there. And so naturally, my first experience ever going through anything like this, I see somebody that might look like you, and I say, oh, she's like me. Like, she's, normal. Maybe she's just depressed or whatever. And then, you start talking or they start talking, and I was like, they not like me. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe
schizophrenic. My roommate was man. I was talking to one person one day. I woke up the next day to a whole nother person. I was like, wait,
Right.
I thought we was on the okay. No, we ain't the same. But I had a group session this past week, and that was the thing, because a lot of people have been in it for a very long time, and I'm new. So, it's kind of like the, what are you in for kind of situation. And I'm really quiet because, like I said, I'm not big on, if they ask me a direct question, I would answer.
Right.
But I'm not in there like, so, some people come in like, this is my week. This is what I'm going through. I'm not there. And the counselor knew, the situation or whatever. And she asked me something directly. And I said, I tried to jump off a bridge. And the people were like, what? And then an older lady that was sitting across from me, she was like, I know how you feel, because I felt that. I never did what you did, but I've definitely wanted
and that
to.
there. Now, how did that make you feel when she said that to you?
I felt good because it felt like, you know what I'm saying?
Connection.
Like,
Right.
and you don't feel that. You constantly feel like judged or, you know, whatever. So it felt good to know that somebody else knew exactly that feeling.
Exactly.
Right.
And then imagine, now I'm going to shift a little bit culturally, but imagine if we were all that transparent and how many barriers it could break, period.
I was just
Right?
about to bring up
And
that word.
You know, race, you know, ageism,
Yeah.
sexism. If we really got real and identify with feelings and not separate, we don't want to, you know, that shame and those, you know, things we put up, the walls we put up, all that stuff. But sometimes just somebody being able to see, we talked about that the first half, right?
Exactly.
See what's going on and speak to that.
Exactly. I was just going to say, you know, do you see a lot of times where people can confuse transparency with the word vulnerability? I'm very, like Dia spoke about, some people are more vocal, some people hide it. I'm really in between, but I do have my times where I'm just, hey, somebody got to see this, somebody need to hear it, and then boom, hey, I'm glad you said that because so and so. I'm like, man, you know, you was watching me first of all, you know, and I just think that I'm more comfortable with just letting somebody know, even if it is the platform of social media. That's how I can reach the masses of my generation, or I can reach the masses of my classmate that I haven't seen in 10, 15 years, and she's dealing with what I'm speaking about right now. Because you just in my mind, it's just like my dad always told me all the time, you never know who's watching, you never know who's watching, you never know you can help. So that's just been in my mind. Do it. Somebody might need this right now. And I just believe in being obedient. And, you know, I do consult with God, okay, Lord, should I do this right now or should I wait? And sometimes he'll give me something and I just have to paste it in my notepad. It's not the time for that specific thing yet. But I do believe in being transparent because I am, to me, that's how I can relate to those who may not know me personally, to those who maybe, well, you know what, she look like she got it all. But I'm gonna let you know, no, everything is not peaches and cream. Right. You know, it's not perfect over here, but I do also have my moments where I'm just like, nah, I'm gonna save that for another time. It's not the right occasion. It's not the right season for that to actually be revealed. So the more that I watch, the more that I pick up and I learn, I observe, I know when and where to actually, place certain things in my life.
That's a good thing.
To be able to be that example or be that, that encouragement for somebody else. At the end of the day, that's what I want to be. I'm working to be a trailblazer and to be a voice for my generation, and having these two as examples of, trying different things. Well, test this out all the time. Deal. Well, have you tried this? Well, have you tried that? I'm like, no, I ain't tried that. Let me go ahead and do that real quick. So it's a good thing with being mindful of your circumstances and not pushing them to the wayside.
Yeah, that's real good.
Yeah, that's important. And what you were saying earlier about, I think that just changing the definition of things, having different definitions and different conversations around what we've been traditionally taught what this means.
Exactly.
What does strength really mean? It doesn't mean that you are the strongest person and you can hold everything and your shoulders can carry this and that. It just means being able to open up and say what's really going on. You know what I'm saying? Just being transparent, being I guess open, you know what I mean? And just sharing your experiences. And I think, of course we got the lovely ladies in here, but I think as a man, there's all these cultural norms that we have that we deal with. And just being a man and being the head of a household or whatever the situation is, with all these labels and hats that we're supposed to wear. And then, as a young person, you hear these things and you really feel the responsibility to live up to all of these labels, being the man of the house. Like, what does that mean? You got to be strong. Oh, that means daddy can't cry. You know what I'm saying? Daddy can't be emotional. Daddy can't do this. Daddy can't do that. All these labels to me are barriers,
right?
And they're unrealistic expectations. It sounds so crazy, but they're really unrealistic expectations that we begin to try to live up to at a very young age. Like, we're taught these things,
right?
And I really think that we have to learn something new, and we have to unlearn a lot of
exactly.
That's good. Bad habits, old habits.
Yeah,
that's real good right there.
Yeah.
Well, can you give us your social media handles where our audience can continue to follow you?
Sure. Again, the name of my practice. Well, my name is Latoya Smith. The name of my practice
with
is
a capital T.
A capital T. I'm real serious about that T too. It's the name of my practice is LCS Counseling and Consulting Agency. It's located in Fort Worth, 1751 River Run, Suite 200. The phone number there is 682-990-2866. On Instagram is LCS_counseling. And on Facebook, it's at LCSCAC. And the website is lcscac.com.
Now, do you do what type of sessions? Do you do couples? Do you do one-on-one?
Mm-hmm. I do individual. I do family. I can do group. I do some couples. Like I have this premarital curriculum. Okay. And what I'm going to start implementing, I saw this one article actually in the group I'm in on Facebook. It's more like building sessions, because some people, when they come to counseling, don't want to do like 8 sessions. Even 8 sessions seem like forever, right? So it's calling it like a building session and getting like kind of like going forward and goals and moving on from here. Okay. We may meet for an hour and a half, 2 hours. May that be all the time we ever have, but begin to build off of that.
Okay. And do you do like long term? Like, what is the time frame?
It's open ended. I don't cut it off after like 8. But I tell people, again, with the stem, it doesn't have to be like the show Afraid. It doesn't have to be forever. You know, every Tuesday at 3, you come to my office for the rest of your life.
Right.
It's not like that, right? So my thing is, I want to see people get better, be whole, be in a healthy spot. So if, you know, after 8, 10, you good. I got people, you know, okay, you know what, I'm feeling good right now. Okay, they know they can always call and come back. Okay, go out and do well. It's not my job to hold you. I want to see you better.
Right.
Yeah. You know, I had a question about, and I know we're wrapping up, but I really want you to talk to the audience right now. Yeah. Like I want you to talk to somebody who might be listening to this, and I want you to tell the audience, you know, what are the signs that we should look for in ourselves that makes us feel like, you know, maybe it's a good idea for us to go and seek some help.
Right, that is a good point. Well, one, like we talked about, like certain symptoms you want to look for, especially when it comes to depression, when your mood gets low, you're feeling more sad than usual. Right. I mean, we all feel sad sometimes, but like your mood has just been down, like in this funky space. Fatigue, like it's hard for you to get up. It's hard for you to get dressed. It's like a task in itself to get up, get dressed, take a shower, things like that. Hard for you to concentrate. You cannot sit down and do work because your mind is all over the place. Okay. Isolation. You don't. Whereas maybe you wanted to be around people. Now you just kind of to yourself. I don't want to be around anybody. Don't call me. Don't text me. I don't want to talk. Crying more than usual. Especially if somebody like me, I'm not a crier, but crying more than just constant tears, having thoughts about harming yourself, having thoughts about harming somebody else. If your sleep habits are off, you find yourself sleeping way more than usual, or just not at all. You know, some people come to me like, I've been up for days. You know, I don't sleep. Right? Your eating habits off. You're eating way more than usual, not eating at all. Right? There's changing there, and you're worrying a lot. Your thoughts are constantly going. These are signs that you're going, like your mood is dipped. These are symptoms of depression I just listed. Maybe anxiety, maybe you're more hypersensitive, you're always alert what's going on. You shake, you tremble. Again, hard for you to concentrate. Your eating habits can be off. You're always trying to stay like 10 steps ahead, right? These are all signs, again. A lot of times headaches, people be like, oh, I have headaches, you know, something's going on. For men, you're not going to see sadness, you're going to see a lot of anger. Men are just can get really angry, signs of like depression. I read an article, I know we don't have time to go into it, but it was a study out of Jersey, matter of fact, but it said a lot of times, too, of children of color, specifically black kids, they're not going to say, I'm sad. I remember working with boys when I just started out in counseling and being like, when's the last time you sad? Like, I'm not. You know what I mean? But sometimes young kids, people of color, says the article, they'll be more angry, you know, and they'll just show signs of just being disgusted and angry and tired. That's them saying, I'm not okay, right? So when you see these changes, especially, I think we all know in our bodies and in our mood when we're off. Right. We do. We just call it something else. But if we really gauge in self-reflection, something we didn't get to, we really see what's going on with us, we know that that's not okay. And then begin to reach out. Go to your doctor. If you don't want to go to somebody first, go to your PCP and begin to tell them what's going on, right? And then reach out to your closest friends. Somebody there somebody sees you. Right. You know? And so begin to say something. You know what, I'm not feeling okay, because you know what, if you slept wrong and you had a kink in your neck, you're gonna share that at work with everybody who comes around and starts talking to you. My neck hurt. You know, now I'm not saying you tell strangers, listen, I'm going through, but tell somebody close to, listen, I don't know what's going, I'm just not feeling like myself. You know what I mean? I don't have the energy I once had, or I can't stop crying. You know what I mean? And be able to do that, especially with somebody you trust. Like, don't go tell the blabbermouth who tells everybody's business in the office. Right. But tell your closest friend. Tell somebody.
Now, most people, if they have full coverage, there's a line that they can call, right, through their insurance company?
Yeah, I tell people when they call me, I gather their insurance information and I'll call and verify it. But you can always call your insurance company to see if you have mental health coverage.
Right. A lot of people have the EAP where they get the 6
through their
sessions.
job. Everybody's insurance is different. Some people come to me and get like endless during a time period. Some people get just 3. And one thing too that's important, if you go to a therapist and that therapist connects and see there is an issue, you can also take some short-term disability. Some people need to not go to work because work is a trigger,
right?
You know, or you need to get right. Same thing if you broke your leg, you're gonna take time off from work, right? If you had a big surgery, you take time off. Sometimes with mental health, you need to step back and take some of that short term. Don't abuse it, because people come to me abusing it too. But you know, it's okay to take some short term for yourself. The same way you would do it if you had the flu, you step back, right? That's the way you got to look at it for your mental health. Just take just as good a care as that. You got insurance, call and ask about it. Call a therapist. Most therapists like myself give a free 15-minute consultation. Call up and see what's going on, right? Because when you go see somebody, you also want to know that you can connect. You don't want to go see somebody who has just two opposites, right? And it may not be the black woman that connects with you, right? So, you know, you never know what it is, but
now,
take advantage of that.
How does that work? This is my last question. I know if you start seeing a therapist and for whatever reason you don't feel like you're vibing or like they're helping you, can you tell them that you want to switch or?
Yeah. Well, some people, it depends. I've had people come tell me like, listen, I'm just gonna go to this other therapist I used to see. But you could tell when they're uncomfortable, like when they come in, they're on the edge of the seat, and no, like you can tell it's just, we're not connecting. And then sometimes we all know this as therapists. Sometimes people just go missing, right? Sometimes the therapist can say, you know what, I may not be the best person for you. Let me send you over here. And I don't mind doing that myself. Like this, you know what? I know somebody who can help you with that. I know somebody who specializes in marriage. Go see this person who does it. To me, well, in school, we are taught that ethically, if you don't think you can help that person, refer them out, right? And I don't get offended. I had somebody come in my office the other day. He paid a cash fee, and he was like, "Yeah, I don't know if I'm coming back." Like, I mean, he told me that on the phone when he called in. Like, listen, I'm shopping therapist right now, and I don't know. But that's just part of his symptoms too. He's indecisive in life. Like, you know what I mean? If you offer Pepsi or Coke, he's gonna debate it for 5 minutes. Right? Yeah. But it's funny because we laughed and we talked, and I was like, "You gonna come? You know, yeah, I'm gonna come back at least once. Like, you know what I mean? Because I couldn't. If I say you coming back, he's like, I'm not coming. Like, he's gonna do the opposite of what I say. Yeah. But it was cool because I left it right there. I didn't push him. I didn't say, what you gonna do? Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I think
what you gonna do?
Hey, but I think, and I got friends too, like who are professionals that will say, you know what, I got 5 therapists, I got 3. You know, I'm gonna go see these 3. I'm gonna see who I like best. There's nothing wrong with doing that. And let people know up front, because this is your time. Right. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like buying a car. Right. If you know for a fact you want this car and you go out and buy another, you're going to be unhappy with them car notes and payments, and you'll be mad driving around town.
Me
the car
right
you didn't
now.
want. Right? So,
well, I think for me, when I saw a therapist at the beginning of the year, when they asked me on the line that I wanted a specific race or whatever, I was like, no, like I didn't think that far into it, how it would affect it. But then the person that I started seeing, I was like, nah, this ain't it. Yeah. You know, so
yeah, it's okay.
I think that's something that we don't think of consciously. You just think of wanting help. And then once you start, if you don't know, like, oh, I have options, then sometimes you don't go back to get the help because you think that's your only option. So, yeah, definitely want to let our listeners know whatever the options are.
And you got to know, too, if you're comfortable with a male or a female. Right. You know, there's some women that only want to see men, or there's some women who are violated do not want to see a male, right? There's some people that think that person, there's no way that person can relate to me, so I'm going over here. But you got to know what you want, and if that person doesn't fit, go find somebody else. You trying to get free, not stay bound up. Right. Be mad at the therapist, right? And the same thing with the therapist. You got to know when to refer out if you can't help that person.
True that. Let's get free. All right. Listen, that was episode number 3.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Well, you know what? Just listening to you and, you know, this episode about self-care, about therapy, about the importance of it has been a blessing, and we really appreciate you coming through. You know, this is the Quad, and I hope that you took away something from this, because this is such a relevant subject in all, you know, environments, but especially for our communities. So thank you so much. This is the franchise speaking.
What's your social media?
Oh, my social media is BLK_GHST75. That was a great year.
Don't gotta ask him twice.
No vowels.
I am absolutely Adia. You can find me on Instagram at absolutely Adia_.
Awesome. And it's your girl Ashli Nicole. You can find me on Instagram at speakvo._Nicole. Speak Volumes Nicole on Facebook.
And we are the Quad. Y'all be good.
Bless up.